tradition. And he was not only distributing in the sense of promoting the knowledge of these around the world, he also in the 70s recognized that some of the traditions in India, because they were passed down in family lineages, like 100 boys at the age of 8 would start training for 10 years, learning these incredible oral chants, which contained the essence of the tradition and the great knowledge. But some of the families were no longer passing these traditions on. So Maharishi sent people all over India to the remotest parts, to the little villages, and offered a training for these with great teachers from these lineages. And so thousands of Pundit boys were trained up, and they now are training the next generation. So particularly Atharva Veda was almost lost, but now it's secured going into the future. And he also set up facilities in India where large gatherings of these pundits carrying their traditional chants can operate together. And one in the Brahmistan, or very center of India, had about 3,000 pundits doing these amazing chants together. But these chants are something very significant and important, because you see, what we recognize from our Ayurveda is that there's a most incredible intelligence in our physiologies that orchestrates and organizes for our health. And we recognize that it rises deep within us from a fundamental essence of our being, a field of pure consciousness, so that we are ultimately consciousness, and consciousness reverberates into the organizing principles that becomes the incredible intelligence that organizes our structure. And so all the Vedic traditions were different ways for us to access our own innate potential of consciousness and find expression of that immense potential of love and wisdom and joy and energy. So from the Ayurveda point of view, it's the field of health. From the yoga point of view, another great tradition, it's from the level of mind, bringing it back home to its source. There's knowledges like the Ayurveda, Vedic architecture, to create healthy buildings instead of a sick building syndrome, where just living in that facility would entrain your physiology in natural patterns and flow. And so like that, all these immense, wonderful traditions. So I just thought to give you a flavor of some of these pundits by playing for you what is a Dhanvantari chant. And this Dhanvantari chant, when you listen to it, as listening to Raj, it should really be that the eyes are closed and that we go within. Because if you understand Dhanvantari, he's very, very intimate to you. He is part of you. He is that intelligence in your physiology, which is the template of perfect health. Your consciousness has the memory of perfection. It's from the deepest level that those reverberations, they're the flow of intelligence at the deepest level. They're the organizing principles for your mind and body. They're the laws of nature that allow you to structure this incredible field of expression of mind and body. So Dhanvantari stands at the level of that transformation consciousness into mind body as the principles of integration and balance of wholeness and health. And so when you close your eyes and you allow your awareness to settle with these chants, you're going back home and you are recognizing, you are reminding yourself of the fundamentals of health. And that's what the purpose of these chants are, to awaken us at a deeper level. So this chant is 4 minutes, and I thought it might stand as a suitable introduction to Ambassador Mishra. So if you will allow me just to go 4 minutes, close your eyes, go within and listen to the pundits. And if you are interested, There is a Maharishi Vedic app you can download from the Google Store. You pay €5 a month as a contribution to support these pundits in India. And you have an immense range of these wonderful ancient reverberations of your own field of consciousness in all its various aspects as expressed through the pundits' ancient lineages of transmission. So here is the Dhanvanshri Shloka.
Atha Sri Dhanvantare Stotram Atato Dirganjiviti Madhyayam Vyakyasyamaha Iti asmaha bhagavana treyaha Dirganjivitamanvichan bharadvaja upagamat Indramugratapa buddva sharanyamamareswaram Brahmana hi yatha prokta mayurvedam prajapati Jagraha nikhilena davasvinautu punastadaha Asvidhyam bhagavan chakraha pratipedeha kevalam Rishi prokto bharadvajas chakramupagamat Vignamuta yadaroga pradurvota saririna Tapopavajayana brahmacharya vretayusam Tada bhote svanukrosam puraskratya maharshayah Sameta punya karmana asvehimavata sube Yangirajamadaghnischa vasishta kasyapo briguhu Atreyo Gautama Sankhya Pulastyo Naradosita Agastyo Vamadevascha Markandeya Svalayanau Patirvikshuratriyo Bharadvaja Kapinjalaha Vishwamitra smaratyau cha bhargavasya vanobhijit Gargya sandilya kaundilyo varchideva nagalavau Sangratyo vaijavapischa kushiko vadalayanaha Yasya dvadasha sahasre hritishthati sanhita Sortagyas savicaragyas chikitsa kushalascha saha Roganste sanchikitsancha sakimartanna buddhyate Chikitsavanniveshasya sustaturahitam prati Yadihasti tadanyatra yannehasti na tatvachit Agniveshakrate tandre charaka prati samskrate
So open your eyes and I introduce a very special person. I think we're incredibly blessed in Ireland now at this time You have been sent such an ambassador as Ambassador Mishra. Ambassador Mishra is a very practical man. He is an engineer in training, and he has had posts around the world representing India in various embassies, but also has spent many years in India running various government organizations.
Don, your volume is a little, have you got a microphone there?
I don't know, I better speak up.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't before, but yeah, that's perfect.
So I'm just saying that Ambassador Mishra has immense experience and great practical background, but also he is a Sanskrit scholar, and this is the language of this ancient tradition. And he has a fantastic interest in yoga and in the old traditions. And at a time when Ireland is reeling from this corona crisis and hopefully coming out of it, we have a man here who is giving us support and encouragement and practical guidance. And we very much appreciate his warmth and hospitality, and the fact that he would be here tonight as well to encourage all of you to take interest in Dhanvantari, your own health, and in all these Vedic traditions for the good of your own well-being and joy. So I would love to hand over to Ambassador Mishra and hear what he has to say, and thank him for his blessings in advance.
Namaskar. My very warm greetings to all of you, all esteemed friends, supporters of Ayurveda, for joining this program. My sincere thanks especially to Dr. Brennan and also Dr. Noel and his very dynamic team for arranging this program to celebrate the 6th Ayurveda Day. As Dr. Brennan mentioned, the timing of this event is even more significant because of the continuing corona pandemic, which has not only stressed and overwhelmed the modern Western allopathic healthcare system and the healthcare infrastructure, but also expose the fundamental limitations of what we have been practicing. The impact of corona pandemic is not just physical, not just limited to the body, but it has affected all aspects of life. The whole sense of normalcy has been undone. And there is a disruption of almost everything which was considered normal life earlier in pre-corona days, whether it's a daily life or doing business or social interactions. And there is a huge amount of anxiety and uncertainty and trauma regarding the future. The suffering of people who have lost jobs, people who have lost bereavement and lost their loved ones. The big part of post-corona challenges that our contemporary society is facing is coping with the lingering mental and psychological after effect, even after the bodily symptoms are gone. And this cannot be remedied by perpetual allopathic medication, because disease has been cured, and the trauma which lingers on, you can't every day keep taking pills and sleeping pills or pain relieving, anxiety reducing drugs. And therefore there is a need to pause and think. Is there any wiser, more sustainable, more traditional way of taking care of the societal healthcare needs? And in that context, I'm very grateful to wise experts like Dr. Brennan and Noel and Chitrali and Nahid and Rajinder Kaurji and the whole team of supporters and friends who are exploring more traditional, more sustainable, less harmful ways of addressing the healthcare challenges of contemporary society. I'm very, very thankful to all of you. And Ayurveda is not a new knowledge, it's a very ancient knowledge. Veda literally means knowledge. And in Indian philosophical thought process, knowledge is infinite. Knowledge is indivisible. And knowledge cannot be compartmentalized and segmented, fragmented. And Ayurveda also adopts the same approach. Ayurveda means the knowledge, the science of long life. And the tradition of Ayurveda considers body as a complex matrix of interconnected systems. And it cannot be examined like eyes separately and mind separately and tooth separately and nervous system separately. It's a complex system. The treatment, the concept of health and well-being is not just absence of bodily disease, but holistic harmony between body, mind, soul, and senses. And the disease occurs because of the loss of the harmonious balance between mind, body, soul, and senses. And the treatment, the philosophy of Ayurveda is twofold. Again, it's very holistic. Swasthasya swasthya rakshanam. Someone who is healthy, to keep him healthy, to keep protected his health. Aturasya vikara shamanam cha. Someone who is diseased, to cure him of his or her disease. And this cure involves, again, a very holistic, integrated approach. Restoring a proper diet, restoring a proper lifestyle, dincharya, as needed use of natural products as chemicals to restore your balance, rasayan, and then panchakarma treatment, panchakarma therapy. There is a whole holistic, organic, integrated approach to body, and also to take care of the imbalances, disharmony that occurs in our body. The body has been in Upanishads, body has been very, very interestingly characterized like a chariot. Atmanam rathinam vidhi, shariram rathamevatu, buddhim tu sarathim vidhi, manah pragrahamevacha. Someone who is sitting in the chariot is the soul. The body is the chariot. Mind is the charioteer who is guiding the ratha, the chariot. Manaha pragrahamevacha. The mind is the rein, which is keeping horses, which are senses, horses in control. And therefore, restoring the balance and keeping the body, keeping the ratha, keeping the chariot properly running is not just the physical process. Fundamentally, it's a controlling the reins of the senses, reins of the horses, which are taking the ratha, taking the body to undesirable, unsustainable, imbalanced ways. And how do you control your senses? You cannot control your senses by injection or medication. It's a thought. With a Shiva Sankalpa, the meditative effort of the mind, you control your senses. You rein in the horses of senses. Shariram hi sattvam anuvidhiyate, sattvam cha shariram. The mind Shariram hi sattvam anuvidhiyate, the body follows the mind, sattvam cha shariram, and mind follows the body. So therefore, there is a deep connection between body and mind. And if there is a imbalance, discoordination, lack of coordination between body and mind, then the progress is not smooth, not balanced, not in the desired manner. And therefore, the importance of mind and individual's thought. And also with regard to body and the senses, the physical senses, they are also deeply connected with prana, the senses and the body that is that sustains on prana. It is a life breath, and therefore, and all these are nurtured by food. And therefore, the mind is dependent also on what we consume. And in Upanishad, the concept of food, the ahar, is not just about what we consume, what we eat, but also what we intake through diverse senses. And therefore, ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhi sattva shuddhau dhruva smritihi. It says, if your ahara, as I mentioned, is not just about what we eat, but a broader intake of our senses. Ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhi sattva shuddhau dhruva smritihi. If your ahar, this food you intake or other things you absorb with your senses, if that is pure, then sattva siddhi, your mind also, your thought also becomes pure. If your mind is pure, then your retention, your memory is cleansed and stable, firm. If your memory is stable, then you remember what is right and what is not right. And that is the liberation from all sufferings. And that is why, friends, the fundamental approach of Indian philosophy, and also including Ayurveda or yoga, is putting the onus of every suffering to the individual himself or herself. And the seed, the root cause of all suffering, including diseases, is within us. Less in the physical body, more and fundamentally in our thoughts, our mind. Whether we engage in thoughtful or reckless choices, we are driven and guided by due diligence and due discretion, or we are behaving in a rampant manner, thoughtless manner. And also, once the disease is, has taken root in the body, the spread in a large manner like pandemic, it occurs because of pollution of air, of water, of environment, and also, and they in turn are caused by our actions. Whether we are engaging in unwholesome activities or beneficial activities, thoughtlessly or with due consideration to the implications. And friends, again, this is a kind of axiomatic truth in Indian thought process, that there is no escape from the fruits of one's actions. Yah karta sa hi bhokta syat karmanastu dhruvam phalam. One who has committed the action, he or she will have to face the consequences. And this is a firm, inescapable truth. The result of the action will have to be borne by the individual. Friends, and also That is why, if you remember that after giving the message in Mahabharata, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna gives full comprehensive knowledge to Arjuna. And then he says, it's your choice, you decide what you want to do. The leaders and thought leaders and practitioners like you are doing your best to promote the awareness about the great traditional wisdom which is available for free for everyone to be benefited. But eventually it is for the individual to absorb it, accept it, and inculcate it as part of one's habit. Friends, from embassy point of view and also from Government of India point of view, I'm very happy to share that for the first time we have a leader who actually has brought the traditional wisdom and traditional knowledge and culture and civilizational ethos, which is inherently universal in its approach, to the centrality of the governance and centrality of our international relations as well. You would remember that one of the very first major initiatives of Honorable Prime Minister Modi was to get the international community and United Nations to overwhelmingly endorse his idea of celebrating International Day of Yoga. Ayurveda also figures very, very prominently in his overall ethos of a balanced approach to healthcare. In the new education policy, the traditional knowledge and Ayurveda also has acquired a very prominent position. The government is currently very, very systematically working to spread awareness and popularize traditional knowledge of India, Ayurveda, within the country and also abroad. And domestically, the Ministry of Ayush is focused on R&D and development of new drugs, their standardization, safety evaluation procedures, and standardizing the quality issues of Ayurvedic products, and also validation of Ayurvedic knowledge, putting to the extent possible in the framework of the methodology which is understood by the rest of the world. And I'm very happy to share that the government has set up an All India Institute of Ayurveda in Delhi. That will not only provide full spectrum of Ayurveda treatment, but also bring salience to the study and research in a very methodical, scientific manner. There's also a Central Council for Research in Ayurvedic Sciences, CCRAS. So that is also mandated specifically to look at different aspects relating to Ayurveda as a science, with a scientific approach to study of Ayurveda. Friends, we in the embassy in Dublin will be very privileged to support your efforts in any manner. I was very privileged to have one brief introductory meeting with Dr. Brennan and other friends, Dr. Noel and some other friends in Dublin. I look forward to having more substantive engagement and brainstorming about what are the issues and how do we go about it. Anything we can do, you think we can do, please do share your thoughts. We'll be very grateful to you. And also I can rest assure you all that whatever I can do with regard to options here or also exploring support from Ministry of Ayush or the technical educational institutions in India, I'll be very privileged to do that. Once again, very happy Ayurveda Day to all of you, and how much it means to have support and goodwill and friendship and warmth of great esteemed friends like you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. Thank you. Thank you. Maybe Dr. Brennan might like to say a few words on that.
I think it's wonderful to have your support, and it is very interesting for everybody to hear the initiatives happening even within India in terms of bringing up this great knowledge. But what's absolutely striking as well is how much of a channel that you personally are in the quotation of these ancient Sanskrit slokas that are come down through the ages, and your ability to, communicate their essence for us. It's raising India in our eyes to that which Maharishi would always have said: India is the mother of the world. She is going to nourish the nations. She is going to, through her knowledge and her great wisdom, allow this materialistic, greedy civilization that has arisen in the world to cause the problems of pollution, giving rise to the epidemic, as you pointed out, that this knowledge will bring us back home, allow us, as you say, to, rather than being driven by the horses of the senses, to actually recognize that in that integration of settledness of body with mind, of mind with source consciousness or Veda, or innate wisdom and knowledge, that we will wake up. And that is the gift of India to the world, which you're a wonderful exponent of. And we thank you very much for your inspiration and for your beautiful communication today.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
that's very uplifting, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
Really.
you. Very kind.
More hope for everyone.
Yes,
Thank you.
I
invite
just-
positive vibes on this Dhanvantari Day. So thank you, Mr. Mishra, for being here with us.
Thank you so much for being with us, and happy Diwali, Mishra ji.
Thank you. Thank you. I look forward to meeting you too when I come to your city.
Yeah, I am looking forward to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would just like to point out that we're blessed with a fourth Vaidya on the call, because we have Dr. Anu Gopale from Cork, who has been many years working to bring out this knowledge in Cork particularly, and she's blessed us also with her presence, and we thank you, Dr. Anu.
And Dr. Anu, I did notice you. I was going to say it. If you want to say something, I'm not sure, your video is off and you're muted as well. I have unmuted you if you'd like to say your greetings to the ambassador, but that's fine. Maybe that's not appropriate either. But anyway, but it's great to see you on the call. It's really good to see you on the call. I just want to share a very inspirational short story with you, just to tell you how quickly the world can change. We have a good friend called Declan Dever. He's a TM teacher teaching meditation in Mexico, and I was up in Donegal with him about a month ago. He was home, and he went to visit. He'd heard a good friend of his was sick, and he went to visit him, and his friend had been bitten by a tick and had Lyme's disease, and very debilitating. He had to stop work. He had no energy. He was feeling very sick, all these things. So Declan got on the phone to a friend of ours called Dr. Nathan, who runs an Ayurvedic clinic in Delhi. And Nathan spoke to this man and, gave him some things that maybe he could start doing, but suggested to him that he should think about going to India to do panchakarma, a purification treatment. Now, bear in mind that this particular friend of Declan's had never heard of Ayurveda. He wasn't aware. He wasn't a meditator. He was just someone who, up in Donegal, who got bitten by a tick and got sick. And I was speaking to Declan 2 days ago in Mexico. I speak to him regularly, and I just asked him how his friend was. And he said, you won't believe it, I rang him on his mobile phone in Ireland, and he picked up the phone in Delhi. And he was in the clinic in Delhi being treated for his Lyme's disease. And he said he felt wonderful. He said the food was absolutely fabulous. The treatments were fabulous. He was learning yoga. He said he was the worst yoga student ever, but he was giving it his best go. And he was doing all the panchakarma treatments and everything. And he said he felt absolutely great. So that's how quickly someone's life can change through knowledge. I mean, just 1 minute he's sitting in his house in Donegal, he's taking allopathic medicine, he's not really getting anywhere with it, he feels horrible, he's not seeing much of a future, and the next he's out in Delhi getting these ancient treatments that are having a profound effect on his life. And there's many people on this call here who just happened to see an ad on Facebook or happened to see something and came along and got involved in Ayurveda. And we know from talking to these people that Ayurveda has had a transformational effect on their lives. And it's as simple as that. And all we have to do is get the knowledge out there, because when people realize what the knowledge is, if they don't know what it is, they just think, oh, it's some folk medicine or wishful thinking, or it's you know, it's not practical, it's not evidence-based, it's not whatever. So, but that's just ignorance. We know as an Ayurvedic community that this knowledge is so profound. And if there's any hope for our healthcare system, it's through prevention, it's through proper living, it's through proper diet. This is the only thing that's going to save Western healthcare. Not just Western, the whole world's healthcare. It's the only thing, because it's the only thing that makes sense. It's the only thing that's real and true. And so we just have to get the knowledge out there. And we all on this call, we all have to plant those seeds to get the knowledge out there. And it's just very simple. There's one person's life changed through a conversation, but we just have to have millions and millions of conversations.
Yes.
So I just wanted to share that little story with you.
Thank you.
Very good. Yeah.
That is Dhanvantari Day, a massive celebration for the potential of health for everybody. And, you know, we have over 100 people here, all of you have experienced this. And all of you are guiding lights that bring Ayurveda into our community, because this, you know, it's a very gossipy country, Ireland, definitely. And also there are people from the UK, will you gossip about Ayurveda constantly and wake people up to the reality that there is an alternative. They don't have to, you know, take the tablets only. They can also, as Ambassador Mishra kindly pointed out, take responsibility and through this knowledge become healthier.
Perfect, Don. And you know, the courses that we started running during when COVID came in first, that lockdown, like those courses are all online now. And like since the last Ayurveda Day a year ago, we've had 25,000 people register for those courses. I'm not saying all 25,000 people did the course, but we had 25,000 people express an interest and come on and register. And many of those people did that 7-lesson course. And for me in Ireland, that course has been the key to getting, you know, Ayurvedic knowledge out there. And so many of you did that course and so many of you enjoyed it, but there's hundreds of thousands of more people out there that need to see those courses and need to get that knowledge. And that was one of the inspirational things when we met Ambassador Mishra the other day, because Dr. Rajvinder is very keen to get some courses going, to get some educational courses, but properly certified courses. Everything needs to be done at a proper level. And the ambassador expressed a strong interest in helping us doing that. So hopefully, you know, within the next year or so, by this time next year, when we're celebrating our next Ayurveda Day, we'll have a lot of Irish people and a lot of people from the UK studying to be Ayurvedic physicians and studying to do Ayurvedic consultations or Ayurvedic lifestyle or Ayurvedic treatments or whatever it happens to be. It's such a broad range of knowledge that, you know, people can fit in many different places. So so that's the next change that we want, is more and more people doing those courses, and then more and more practitioners to get this information out there more and more. Because my feeling, I've been working with Dr. Brennan for must be 25 years now, Don, that we've been doing this. And I mean, there were times myself and Don were traveling around the country, putting ads in papers, going into hotels, and then looking at each other because nobody showed up to hear what we had to say, you know. And that was kind of a common experience in the beginning days. We might be speaking to 5 people or 10 people. And I think it was Dr. Brennan that kept me going at it, because he never let any of those things dampen his enthusiasm. And now we're speaking to hundreds and thousands, really, you know, we're speaking to thousands of people, but we want to be speaking to hundreds of thousands is where we want to take it next. So everybody have that intention in their minds for this Dhanvantari Day, to get Ayurveda. I wanted to be bigger than allopathic medicine, because as far as I'm concerned, it's better than allopathic medicine. So it makes more sense, and people won't need allopathic medicine if they learn how to look after themselves. But we have to get it out there, and everybody that's on this call now can be an agent to do that as well, you know. And someone says there, Roberta Shield says, currently studying to be an Ayurvedic aromatherapist. So there you are. That's an example just there. So that's fantastic, Roberta. That's great.
Regina is saying, let's do it. Yes, Regina, we will do it.
We'll do it with the help of the ambassador.
Absolutely. We are blessed to have Mishraji, really, that you have so much interest, and all those mantras, chants that you recited that show how much wealth of knowledge you have, that you can nourish us already with it. So really.
And It was wonderful as you were talking about the courses, Noel, to watch 3 Indian Ayurvedic heads nodding away there, Chitrali and Rajvinder. I couldn't see Dr. Anu's, but yeah, it'd be lovely.
Okay, so listen, I think we should move on with some entertainment now. We've done the speeches and everything like that, and maybe it's time for a little bit of fun. So unless anyone has anything to conclude with, I'm going to call on Donal O'Leary, who's another very good friend of ours, and Donal has agreed to give us a song. Are you happy to proceed, Don?
Oh, great. Donal is a barrister working away, and
sir is happy to stay with us, yeah?
Yeah, maybe 10 minutes I can stay, then I'll leave.
Yeah,
Okay.
whenever you need to go, we understand.
Very
We
kind,
absolutely
very
understand.
kind, very kind, very kind, very
Thank you
kind.
very much for coming on.
well, Donal and his
Thank
wife Shirley are also TM teachers. So I think we're going to have another chant, but this time it'll be an Irish one.
Donal, are you with us?
I'm with you. I can yeah, can you hear me?
Hiya, Donal. Hiya, Shirley.
How you doing there, Noel? Can you hear me?
We can indeed, Donal, yeah. The stage is all yours.
All right. I'll sing a Raglan Road for better or worse. You can suffer through it.
Brilliant.
On Raglan Road of an autumn day, I saw her first and knew that her dark hair would weave a snare that I might one day rue. I saw the danger, yet I passed along the enchanted way, and I said, let grief be a fallen leaf at the dawning of the day. On Grafton Street in November, we slipped lightly along the ledge of a deep ravine where can be seen the worth of passion's pledge. The Queen of Hearts still making tarts, and I not making hay. Oh, I love too much, and by such is happiness thrown away. I gave her gifts of the mind, I gave her the secret sign that's known to the artist who has known the true gods of sound and stone, and word and tint without stint. I gave her poems to say with her own name there, and her own dark hair like clouds over fields of May. On a quiet street where old ghosts meet, I see her wandering now, away from me so hurriedly. My reason must allow that I have loved not as I should, a creature made of clay. When the angel woos the clay, he'll lose his wings at the dawn of day. That's it. Thank you.
Very nice. Absolutely, very touching. Very touching. Very
And
very kind.
Raglan Road is not too far away from you are where your embassy is.
Oh,
Probably, yeah.
how nice.
Yeah, it's in Ballsbridge there, you know. Thank you very much, Donald.
It was on Raglan Road that I saw the notice for a TM introductory talk that I went to in the 70s.
Fantastic.
There's something.
Know that.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Well, myself and Don did consultations on Raglan Road, didn't we, Don, as well at one stage? We were over in that direction. We borrowed someone's apartment in one of our manifestations back there many years ago. We were around that area. I think it was Raglan Road we did consultations on. So anyway, Donald, that was lovely. Thank you very much. So,
Well, while she's there.
sorry? Sorry, Don.
Shirley might give us a poem.
Shirley, do you want to give us a poem?
Okay, we can do that. So first of all, just to say, I'm really enjoying the celebration. It's so great. And it's so lovely to see this number of people, some of whom I even recognize. And thank you very much to Ambassador Mishra for that wonderful presentation. It was so holistic, and the Sanskrit saying and the translation and the holisticness of it all, from the soul to the body, the senses, it was just so fascinating. And the great holistic understanding of COVID, like how we were creating it, and then now we're going to deal with it in a holistic way also, hopefully. So I was going to say a poem, and today is Dhanvantari Day for health, and Ayurveda teaches us to go within, and poetry is wonderful for bringing our surface level to connect with the deepest levels of ourselves. So this poem is called The Song of the Wandering Aengus, and he goes within in the first line, because the hazelwood in our tradition, he goes into the hazelwood. The hazelwood in our tradition is always knowledge and deep, profound wisdom. So he goes there and he has the most wonderful revelation, which stays with him always. So the Song of the Wandering Aengus, W.B. Yeats. I went out to a hazelwood because a fire was in my head. I cut and peeled a hazel wand and hooked a berry to a thread. And when white moths were on the wing and moth-like stars were flickering out, I put the berry in a stream and caught a little silver trout. When I had laid it on the floor, I went to blow the fire aflame. But something rustled on the floor, and someone called me by my name. It had become a glimmering girl with apple blossom in her hair, who called me by my name and ran and faded through the brightening air. Though I am old with wandering through hollow lands and hilly lands, I will find out where she has gone and kiss her lips and take her hands. We'll walk along long dappled grass and pluck till time and times are done. The silver apples of the moon, the golden apples of the sun. Thank you.
Amazing. Amazing poem. I look forward to meeting you sometime soon.
Next
I'm also
Wednesday.
interested.
Actually, you will be,
Yeah.
Ambassador. Yeah, you'll be meeting the TM teachers, I think, in a week or so. So
Yeah, how nice.
Thank
We'll meet you
you.
then.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Donald. Thanks very much, Shirley. We got lots of good value entertainment from your household this evening, so that's great. Thank you. Thank you. And so actually, we're going to have another poet now. If Lou Beckman is on it, I'm just going to take a look and see can I find Lou. Oh, Lou is there, yeah. So Lou, I'll unmute you. Hi, Lou.
Hi there, can you hear me?
I can indeed, Lou. Yeah, how are you?
Thank you. I'm really, really well and really enjoying this evening. Thank you very much. And I'd like to read a poem I wrote for Rebecca. And she was a young dancer and choreographer. And she said something that really touched me before she passed away. And she said she'd like to come back as rain for countries that need it. So this is called I Dance. I drip I dance. I drip, I drop, I drench, I fall, I flow, I fly, I free fall from sky, filling lives. I am sloping, stinging, slanting, parallel, horizontal, vertical, diagonal, the reins of reason, a rain for all seasons, pitter, pattering, soaking, splattering, not mattering. I dance, I drop, I drip. How does it feel to be followed, hollowed out by pain raining in my brain? Ask earthquake what she feels about tsunami, and lightning about deafening timpani. It's that. I dance. I drop on your rooftops, I pirouette, I am wet tango. Splattering, surging, splashing, spilling, swaying, spinning. I pour passion, the rains of compassion. I trickle, twist, tumble, turn, twirl, whirl. I flush, flood, wash, rush, gush over gutters. I am rain, have free rein. I dance, I drip, I drop on fears and doubt, on deserts of drought, feeding streams, flooding dreams, new waters flowing, new life growing, no seeds of sorrow shaping tomorrow. Like an angel's tears, I'll be rain for Africa. For Africa, I'll drip, I'll dance. I drip, I bend, I slide, I glide, I salsa, swing. I seep, I stretch, I rise, I skip, I dance, I drop, I drip. If you fell the forests, then I must fall upon their farms. If you plunder plantations, then I must plunge upon their plains, no grains. I burble, I gurgle, I mizzle, I drizzle, I drip, I drip. I balance, I hip, hop, I drop, I drip, I dance.
Very nice.
Amazing, beautiful poem.
Very beautiful.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lou. You always come up trumps with your poems.
Amazing.
Yes.
Very, very nice. Wonderful.
Bless you. Thank you.
Some lovely comments coming in. Actually, there's some lovely comments coming in for all of the entertainers, you know, so you can see them there in the chat box. And we have a very special singer now, actually.
Amazing, like poems and singer. You have really organized such a wonderful program. Unfortunately, I'll have to leave, but I look forward to connecting again and continuing our discussion.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. It was a
Thank you
privilege
so
to have
much.
you
Very
on board.
kind.
Thank you.
Very kind.
Thank
Very
you.
kind.
Thank you
Good
so
night.
much. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Okay, so Don, I think you were going to give us a song, are you?
Oh, right. God, am I on immediately?
You're on immediately.
I could give you a serious one, or I could give you the Ayurveda one. I'll give you both. I'm going to give you both. First is a lullaby to put Naheed to sleep there.
You want her to sleep?
Yeah.
She's in Ireland now.
Yeah, she's in Ireland now. She's not
She's not in India.
Yeah.
So this is from the islands off the west of Ireland.
Mhm.
On the wings of the wind, o'er the dark rolling deep, angels were coming to watch o'er thy sleep. Angels are coming to watch over thee. Solace to the wind blowing over the sea. Hear the wind blow, love, hear the wind blow. Lean your head over and hear the wind blow. Oh, wind of the night, may your fury be crossed. Let no one who's dear to our island be lost. Blow the wind softly, calm be the foam. Shine the light brightly to guide our men home. Hear the wind blow, love, hear the wind blow. Lean your head over and hear the wind blow. Tomorrow the carracks will stand on the shore, and Daddy'll go sailing, sailing no more. The nets will be drying, the nets heaven blessed, and soon in my arms, dear, contented he'll rest. Hear the wind blow, love, hear the wind blow. Lean your head over and hear the wind blow.
Very nice, Don. Thank you.
So melodious. I heard for the first time. I didn't knew you are a good teacher.
Well, I want to know.
He's a man of many talents.
Yeah, it's really lovely. You have got a very sweet, smooth, and a soft voice. And we would like to know your secret. How do you keep your vocal cords so soft, even if you are Vata Prakriti?
Keeping good company like yours.
and lots of ghee.
Lots of ghee, yeah.
You might as well give us the second one, Don.
But I think Naheed's kind of asleep. Did you know? No sign from her.
No, I'm going to use this.
We'll have the
Whenever I
Ayurveda one,
do-
Don, while you're at it.
Okay, okay.
Is that little Annie? Annie's there.
Three friends took on the duty. Three doshas were their name. They bring you immortality, and good health comes without any strain. And the three doshas are working together. When they're in balance, you feel a lot better. They are called Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. This is the story of Ayurveda.
Lovely.
Is very busy. She lives with so much dash. She rushes through every activity and learns and forgets in a flash. And the three doshas are working together. When they're in balance, you feel a lot better. They're called Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. This is the story of Ayurveda. Very good. Did you all come in next time? And Pitt is more than ready. His thinking is precise, but beware of his irritability because his talking is sharp and concise. And the three doshas, they're working together. When they're in balance, you feel a lot better. They are Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. This is the story of Ayurveda.
Ayurveda.
La 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 la.
Half the sleep is heavy, his structure is solid and strong. He's methodical in his activity, and he remains with his feet on the ground. And the three doshas are working together. When they're in balance, you feel a lot better. They're called Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. This is the story of Ayurveda.
Oh, great.
Well done, Don.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Very good. Very good. Very good. So actually, we're going to have a short story next. That was great, Don. Thanks a million. And actually, I'm thinking that maybe on our next Ayurveda course, we should have everybody has to learn that song. And there's a lot of knowledge in that song.
Yes.
Definitely a lot of knowledge. Maybe we can have an exam at the end and we'll see if people get it right.
So we can pass the test.
I'm going to ask Bernie from Scotland, Bernie Rowan. She wrote a short story.
Hey, lovely.
So Bernie, you should be able to unmute yourself.
Love your shawl, Bernie, the way you're wearing it.
Okay.
Hi, Bernie.
All right, you can hear me.
We can hear you.
All right. Mataji, Mataji, I have fresh dates for your guru today, he called. I saw him with his colourful decorated vegetable cart at the end of the dusty road. I'd just walked past the sow and her suckling piglets, their tiny tails waggling with pleasure. I stopped to greet the precious cows, whose warm brown eyes looked back at me with no expectations as they blissfully chewed the cud. Watching them for a moment, I understood deep in my soul why the cow is considered the mother. The vegetable wala gave me a toothless grin as I approached, and I knew that I would spend a few rupees that morning. I did every day, but today's pickings were exciting. I watched the bees buzzing around a bunch of sweet, juicy dates. They looked so succulent, my mouth watered. I would cook a date and tamarind chutney to accompany my guru's lunch. Oh, and he had methi as well, fresh methi leaves. They were ideal to serve with a potato sabji to add a slightly bitter taste, which would help balance the sweet aftertaste of the potato, so as not to aggravate his kapha dosha and to kindle agni. The vegetable cart groaned under the wonderful fresh carrots, cucumber. There was root ginger and turmeric lying gnarled in a corner. And then I spotted a ball of tamarind and was delighted. This would be fresh. He didn't have much English, as the saying goes, but I didn't have any Hindi at all, so he was certainly better than me. We exchanged happy smiles and rupees at the same time, and I rushed back to the flat to pop my stash into the kitchen. I went back onto the dusty road and hailed a rickshaw to traverse the bumpy road into the village. But as I was about to get onto the rickshaw, the guru's assistant came towards me and asked if he could ride with me. He was a young man who just started serving the guru. And then he asked me, how do I handle the demands of serving? He sounded a little nervous and slightly alarmed, but I replied, oh, it's easy. You bend like a bamboo plant. When the guru wants you to bend, you bend like the bamboo. It is supple and it never breaks. Just learn slowly and determinedly to bow in gratitude to the gods and goddesses for the gift of being alive, and that you can be here in India in this lifetime. We came to the edge of the town and saw the sweet shops. That was where I was aiming. And the young devotee hopped off the rickshaw and paid the fare. He offered me a hand to help me alight, and we feasted our eyes. All those beautiful sweets. There was shapes and different colors. Most of them were milk-based. I think they call it sandesh. They were displayed in the most gorgeous array of green and pink and yellow and white, artfully decorated in different shapes of flowers, square ones, round ones, half moon shapes. I chose a few and then walked on down the street to collect a tava, as we were making more chapatis than usual for our guests, and one tava was just not going to be enough. Today, as I cook my meals in Scotland, I miss that tava. I have one, but it just isn't the same. In fact, life away from India is not the same. India has my heart and my dreams. With the deep and profound Vedic teachings, it is a beacon of light for so many of us. And to the ambassador and all my Indian friends, thank you. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your gifts, and your country with us. And thank Dhanwantari for such great blessings as Ayurveda.
That's beautiful, Bernie.
That's great, Bernie.
Really, really good. Great.
Is your towel still heating? Good. Great. You have a good exposure to India.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
it's funny. I haven't been to India. I think the last time I was there was, I think it was 2018. I think it was. I brought people up there to Rishikesh. I do tours to India. I bring people to India, and the last time I was there was up in Rishikesh, and we were walking in the Himalayas. And just like that, I just miss it so much because it's just so completely different. You know, it's just so, and especially up in the Himalayas, it's just so beautiful. But definitely by this time next year, I'll be back. That's for sure.
A trip to India.
Yeah. I'm not sure I'll be bringing people. I'll just be going by myself. But yeah, definitely going to go. Definitely going to go. That was beautiful, Bernie. Thank you very much. That's a great short story. Thank you. We're going to have a poem next from Anna Carey. If Anna is a regular contributor. So Anna, you should be able to unmute yourself.
Hello, yeah, I'm unmuted, I think.
Yeah, very good. So you go ahead.
Well, thank you. For this, might bring Don in at the very end, but I think he's unmuted, so I don't need to worry about that at all. But I don't know why I always contribute, because like I always get nervous every single time, and it's always for fun more than anything. But
It's good to have you. Good to have you.
Thank you, Ravinder. This poem, I think, Don, Noel, Nahid, and Rajvinder might know, because I think I had sent it to them this time last year. So it's about Ayurveda Day from last year, except I had to change a few words because obviously it's a different date and different people. And I'm afraid it has no mention of Dr. Chitrali. So I'm so sorry, but I will count 4 Vedas instead of 3, and the original poem has 3. But so for next year, I think Dr. Chitrali will be in it. But I'll get going. People might recognize the way it is, but okay, I'll keep going. 'Twas the 2nd of November, with the first blows of winter. Not a creature was stirring, not even Rajvinder. Invitations were sent by Noel with great care, with the hopes that Mr. Mishra and Biddy's bagpipes would be there. The night sparked with Rajvinder, whose puja brought hand to chest. With gratitude to Javantari, thanks to him with Ayurveda we are blessed. Meanwhile, far in Cork, we then greeted Nahid. Thrilled such wisdom is growing in Ireland, Ayurveda has flowered since its planted seed, indeed. We are moved and inspired by many humble speeches of our awe for Ayurveda and how holistically it reaches. Then followed the start of entertainment and art, of musicians and poets all sharing gifts from the heart. Oh, how Ayurveda is like a second mother that nurtures and nudges us to understand and accept each other. This lovely growing community, enjoying life through Ayurveda, we cannot say enough thanks to our 4 wonderful Vedas. But the clock kept ticking, and one by one we crept to our beds, while visions of 3 doshas all danced in our heads. But right before we finished, Dr. Dawn sprung from our screens with delight, exclaiming,
Happy Ayurveda Day to all, and to all a good night.
Yeah, thank you.
Very good. Joint collaboration. You must have been talking to each other privately before that. Very good. Very good. Thank you very much, Anna.
Thank you, Anna. That's pretty.
Brilliant as usual. And you hide your nervousness very well, I can tell you, because it doesn't come across, that's for sure. It must be all internal. So very good. Very good. So actually, Rajvindra just told me that Sonia wants to contribute something. So Sonia, I'm not sure whether it's a poem or a song, but I'll unmute you there. And so you should be able to unmute yourself now.
Yeah, she's.
Hi, Sonia.
It's me.
Hi.
Right. Okay. Hi, everyone.
Sonia is a wonderful yoga teacher.
Can you hear me?
I hear you, Sonia. Yeah.
We can hear you.
Right. Okay. Well, great to be here with you tonight. I'm really feeling so overwhelmed. I mean, Ayurveda Day, Diwali, and seeing your faces sharing these beautiful says and stories and poems and things. So I have just a little thing, to be honest. I haven't planned it, but I want to share it with you, you know, and it is something about, I personally always encourage my students to have a momentum, to have something in mind, to be able to connect to themselves, to be able to connect to their body, and to be able to connect to the deepest level in their body's mind and soul. So what I've done this mantra myself, you know. It's a funny mantra, and you're welcome to say it, to reiterate with me. That's fine, we can all sing it in a way. And this mantra actually starts with, may every cell in my body be happy. May every cell in my body be well. Let me be happy, be well. May every cell in my body be happy and well. So this is the foundation of this mantra. It is something that I heard in one of the retreats I attended with one of the famous yoga teachers, Donna Farhi. And when I was listening to that, it just occurred to my mind, actually not just about the cell, but about so many things in our bodies needs to be reminded about goodness, about being well and being happy. So I came up with this mantra then. May every cell in my body be happy and well. May every cell in my body be shining and blossoming. May every cell in my body loving and hugging. Every cell in my body is singing and dancing. Every cell in my body is peaceful and grateful. Every cell in my body is feeling strong and safe. So if I put a tone to that, I would say, every cell in my body be happy and well. Every cell in my body is shining and blossoming. Every cell in my body is loving and hugging. Every cell in my body is dancing and singing. Every cell in my body is peaceful and grateful. Every cell in my body is feeling strong and safe. Adding to that, every organ in my body is happy and well. Every organ in my body is shining and blossoming. Every organ in my body is loving and hugging. Every organ in my body is dancing and singing. Every organ in my body is peaceful and grateful. Every organ in my body is feeling strong and safe. Then every part in my body is happy and well. Every part in my body is shining and blossoming. Every part in my body is loving and hugging. Every part in my body is singing and dancing. Every part in my body is peaceful and grateful. Every part in my body is feeling strong
good. Very good, Sunny.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
so I use this mantra really. I say it myself when I'm really down. And as I said, I use the same thing. I imagine the cell, every cell in my body is really feeling well and shining and blossoming and singing. I can visualize my organs, like my liver, my kidney, you know, it's like jumping inside, being happy, things like that. And my students have tried it, and they did actually found good use of it, you know, it did help them a lot. So it is something.
It is. Wow. You're so happy now.
Positive affirmation. It's positive affirmation. Okay.
I like to see people smiling, you know, to be honest, you see. So I do funny things.
Very good. So thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you.
Very much.
Yeah.
So we're getting very close to the end here, and actually I'm going to ask Dr. Tritelli she's going to say a few slokas and maybe give the explanation of them as well, you know. So go ahead, Doctor.
Yeah, actually the explanation was given by Dr. Rajvinder at the start of Dhanvantari Puja. So I'll just recite the Sanskrit shloka, which tells you the meaning of how the ocean was churned and Lord Dhanvantari evolved out of it. So I'll just chant the 4 lines of those. So before that, I'll just like to pray to Lord Dhanvantari that we had a beautiful evening today for this World Health Ayurveda Day. And again, the real wealth is our health. So we have to keep our health proper and with good spirit and strength. So let's pray to each and everyone, to ourselves, to our families and friends, for the best of health for everyone, for the physical, mental, emotional well-being, and happy World Ayurveda Day to everyone. So I'll just recite the Sanskrit shloka. Om Shankham Chakram Jalokam Dadha Amrita Ghatam Charudorbhischaturbihi Sukshma Swachhati Hrudyan Shukha Parivilasan Maulimam Bhojanetram Kalambodojvalangam Katitata Vilasacha Charupitambaradhyam Vande Dhanvantarim Tam Nikhila Gadavana Praudhadavagnileelam. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And actually, we're going to go to Dr. Naheed now as well to finish up, really. So Dr. Naheed is going to do a little chant for us as well. Hi, Dr. Naheed.
Hi, Noel. So I just say a shloka which defines Ayurveda. So it's Hita Hitam Sukham Dukham Hita Hitam Manan Cha Tachya Yatruktam Ayurveda Cha Uchyate. So what does it mean is that like Ayurveda is that which kills with good, bad, blissful and sorrowful life, and with what is wholesome and what is unwholesome for our life, its longevity, and also the life itself. So in a nutshell, Ayurveda deals with the science of life. Thank you.
Thank you. Good. No, Stephanie wants to sing as well. Did you know?
I don't think Stephanie said that actually. She meant she was going to sing the song that Sonia was singing. But if Stephanie wants to sing, just put it into the chat, Stephanie. If you, I just got a different meaning from what you put into the chat.
I don't know. There's a chat, but she said, "Would you like to sing, Stephanie?" No. Okay, no.
Yeah,
okay.
No, I think you picked that up wrong. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, no problem. We don't want to be forcing anyone, pulling them in front of the spotlight. Anyway, look, it's getting to 9 o'clock anyway, so I think we've come to the end of our celebration. So if any of the doctors, if Dr. Brennan, do you have any concluding words?
Only until this time next year, and we have another Dhanvantari celebration. May Dhanvantari's influence of increasing well-being and just animate your whole mind, bodies, and spirits. So we wish you all increasing and ongoing health.
Great, Don. Thank you very much. And a big thank you to all the doctors who contributed tonight, and Dr. Rajvinder doing the puja at the start, and then the words from Dr. Chiselli and Dr. Naheed. And thank you very much, Dr. Anu, for coming on down there in Cork. We didn't get to talk to you, but I did see you were there at one stage. So thank you. And there's some other people there I know. Dara Crawl is on. Hiya Dara, and Kevin Blair, who's a very good friend of ours. I think he's in the States at the moment. I saw Kevin's name up there earlier on. So Kevin, if you're still there, a big hello to you. And John Shields, obviously up in Dundalk beside me here. Thanks for coming on. And Roberta, of course, and Sean Byrne there I see as well. So big thank you to everybody that came on. It was great. And all the performers as well. Obviously, a big thank you to all the performers. And the next events that are coming up is Dr. Rajvinder has her autumn cookery course next Monday night. So you can book that on the website. On Tuesday night, we have a replay of a brilliant webinar by Dr. Naheed on ear, eyes, nose, throat, and skincare. A really information-packed webinar that's on that night. And then on the 17th, Dr. Chiselli is doing a webinar on blood sugars and diabetes. And then we have 3 lectures coming up by Dr. Brennan on wisdom, love, and happiness. But I'll be sending more information out about them. And of course, everybody keep spreading the knowledge of Ayurveda. Just drop those little seeds wherever you are. Just let people know about it. Direct them to our website. A great starting point for anybody is to do the 7-lesson Ayurveda course. And then that means we'll have lots more people on and lots more people taking advantage of this knowledge when we come to celebrate next year's. We had a meeting with the ambassador earlier on in the week, and we just all feel very inspired by him. And we think anything that we want to do now with Ayurveda, we're going to get great help from the Indian Embassy. And even though the previous ambassador was very, very supportive of us as well. But anyway, okay, that's fantastic, everybody. Thank you very much. I just want to say a special thanks to my parents for listening in. My mom and dad. I'm actually in my parents' house at the moment. You might have noticed the background is slightly different than the normal background. So I'm in my parents' house and they're in the other room listening in. So a big thank you to them for listening in as well. And I hope everybody enjoyed it. Rajvinder, you're about to say something?
Yeah, just say we will pray hopefully this year, this time next year, we all meet in person and we have a big celebration. I said that last year as well, but hopefully next year.
We'll hire a big marquee in the Midlands somewhere, around the Hill of Ushnack or something like that, and we'll have a big Ayurvedic Celtic festival out there. And no, that'd be really nice to meet up with people. But Zoom is great as well. But it would. But
thank you so much for all the enthusiasm, and I just really the burning reminder brought me back to India when she said the sweet sandesh and chapatis and everything. It's just feel amazing to hear that from you in Scotland. Really, a big thanks to all of you for all of your wonderful support and love and kindness that you offer to all of us. Really, really thankful. And hopefully, with the help of new Indian ambassador, we will bring Ayurveda to be able to take the next step up. So we are praying for that. So thank you so much, really, for your presence. Mean a lot. Thank you. Gratitude.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody, and thank you to Donal and Shirley as well. And they started off our entertainment, so that was great. And to all the entertainers. Jai Gurudev, everybody. Namaste. Good night, everybody, and we'll be in touch. We'll be talking to you soon. Take care. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.